Happy Thursday, loves. If this is your first time checking out my Facebook Live, thank you so much for checking it out. My name is Dani. I'm a virtual licensed psychotherapist and a happiness transformation coach. And I typically work with people who are feeling unhappy, unfulfilled, overwhelmed, anxious, stressed out, maybe a little depressed. So usually I do 3 Facebook Live videos a month, and this is my last one for this month, and yesterday was actually National Immigrants Day. And for National Immigrants Day, I thought, maybe I should do a Facebook Live about me, and so that way people can learn a little bit about me. Usually I focus more on substance use related or mental health related topics, and I wanted to take this time, very short, very brief, to just tell a little bit about myself, reintroduce myself if this is the first time you're checking out my content. So originally, I am from Homestead, Florida, which is a very small town in Miami, and my parents are from the island. My parents are from Trinidad, and family and culture and people from Trinidad, or any islands really, I would say, in general, the idea of beauty is usually women who are thicker, right? So as I get older, dealing with family of, you look skinny, you need to eat, what's wrong with you, you need to eat, and this over time, creating this story that, well, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not good enough, I need to eat more, I need to gain weight, I need to be thicker. I created these irrational stories, and over time, developed low self-esteem. And through that low self-esteem, I was seeking a lot of validation from other people, doing people-pleasing things, or saying yes when I mean no, or no when I mean yes. Just really seeking validation from things outside of me. And unfortunately, one of those things included unhealthy relationships, seeking approval from these unhealthy relationships. Eventually, those unhealthy relationships snowballed into using drugs. Using cocaine, using ecstasy, using Molly, among other drugs. In these using the drugs, it helped me to feel confident in myself. It seemed to quiet down the anxiety, but of course, what happens? What goes up must come down. So eventually, I was sort of becoming it was like a double life here. I was presenting one way to family, to friends, everything was all good. As a matter of fact, at one point, I was even a therapist. I was such a hypocrite because I was teaching people not to do the very things that I was doing. And over time, it caught up to me and wore me out. I was always feeling unhappy, unfulfilled. I felt like I wanted more, but I didn't really know what more was. And that's when I started dabbling with meditation. I started dabbling with yoga. I started going to different workshops. I'd start putting myself out there to meet other people, especially because everyone that I was once hanging out with around me was either drinking or using drugs. I moved to a city where I didn't really know anyone, where I didn't know where I could get it, and really just started working on myself. And through those workshops, through reading, podcasts, I started to learn about things about myself, and I started to learn why I was doing what I was doing. And then it's about 12 years. I graduated from FIU in Miami in 2008, and then I got my master's in 2009. And I would say the partying scene and that double life happened probably somewhere between like 2010 to about 2015, maybe 2009-ish to about 2015. 2015 was the year that I said I wasn't going to do this anymore. I'm done with ecstasy. I'm done with drugs. And since then have not touched drugs. And then about 2 years after no longer using drugs, I said, you know what? I'm also wanting to no longer drink, because I thought that maybe that would probably support me in this new lifestyle I was developing. So now here I am 12 years later, and a lot of the people that I work with are people who have seen therapists already. They've seen counselors, and they've tried so many things, and they just still can't get it. When I say can't get it, meaning they're still feeling unhappy. They're still feeling unfulfilled. They're still feeling depressed. They're feeling a hole or a void, and they fill that void or that hole with either alcohol, they fill it with food, they might fill it with sex, unhealthy relationships, and things like that. So if any of my story resonated with you, or if you feel like, that might be me, feel free to send me a message, or you can email me, Dani, D-A-N-I, at DaniLaberry.com. Again, I'm a virtual licensed psychotherapist and a happiness transformation coach. If this was your first time checking out any of my content, thank you so much again for checking it out. And I hope you stay tuned, because next month I'll have a new set of topics and themes. Have a great night and take care of yourself.